I am so glad you're here, Dave. I mean, your new role, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have somebody with your stature, both as having been a client leader for big organizations, working for different service providers at different types of FM. You really understand the breadth and depth of facility management, but talk to me a little bit about where your head's at, what you're thinking about as far as FM at Cushman and just FM in general.
Yeah, first of all, obviously it's a very dynamic market, a lot of complex issues that the clients are coming to us for.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to diving in and helping the operations. Ultimately, that's what the platform is here for, is to help drive the operations.
You and I have worked, and I'm thinking back about the one big manufacturing client we worked with on a global pursuit years ago, but we've seen a lot changing. What's different today in 2024, 25 in FM that we didn't see a few years ago?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is the flexibility. I think those contracts of 3 to 5 years, fixed price, fixed scope, those are long gone.
They're not fit for purpose.
They are not.
They don't create value for the clients anymore.
Absolutely. So I've seen a shift into being obviously a lot more flexible. Obviously, the technology, the sustainability, those are all topics those aren't even trends anymore. I think that's almost operational, the way of operating going forward, right? It's really how we take it to the next level from a technology standpoint. How do we use the data to help implement the right maintenance schedules? How do we drive value for the client within the portfolio using that technology?
What about the experiential side of FM? The impact of facility management on the culture and the workplace.
Yeah.
What are you seeing there?
I think, well, looking back those 5 to 10 years ago, right, that was an HR function. I don't think FM professionals really worried about that. And now that is what we're worrying about. We are worrying about the workplace experience.
That's a job.
Right? That is a job. That is a function. And that's what the clients are expecting us to come with expertise, because it's across industries, right? It's not specific to one industry. Clients are trying to retain workforce into the office, and the customer experience, the end user experience is what that's all about.
When you think about leading a very large 1,000-employee facility management team at Cushman, what are the things top of mind for you that you're most concerned about?
People. It's all about the people. It always has been about the people, and I feel like it always will be about the people. I had a client tell me many years ago, you can have the best technology in the world. If you don't have the best FM in the world, that technology doesn't mean as much.
And how do we make sure that we have the best people? What are the things that Cushman is doing and will continue to do to make sure that we have that best team in place?
I think it's about developing the talent that we have. I think upskilling the talent as we adopt more technology. The upskilling will be important, but then also looking external and attracting the talent to our company. And you're looking for a specific individual that wants to help build and continue to build the momentum that we have.
Okay. Let's talk about sustainability and how FM affects sustainable operations.
Yeah, I think that's another trend that is now no longer a trend. That is table stakes, green space as we call them, the ability to help the client decarbonize their portfolio while delivering savings, but not affecting that workplace experience, right? So it's a little bit of a threading of the needle between the interdisciplines, but that's an area that the clients are continuing to focus on, is driving value every day.
So how does facility management enable the strategic outcomes? Some people think of, in the hierarchy of real estate services, you have transactions, projects, and then FM is more tactical, but really isn't. It's really the linchpin for the entire strategy from what I've seen. I mean, can you talk a little bit about how that enables the larger corporate initiatives?
Yeah, I think, again, it goes back to the flexibility to be able to manage that portfolio as it changes. Because if a company and a client is going through transformation and that facility management organization is stale, it will drag down that change that the client is trying to implement within their workforce. So again, kind of the stationary type model no longer works, and we have to be flexible to change to that environment.
When you've stood up large FM organizations before, and you've done that with big accounts, both as a client and as an end user, what are some of the lessons learned about good execution, about standing things up for the long haul, and how are you going to bring that to Cushman?
The first thing that comes to mind, Brian, is the contract between the client and the provider. The contract obviously needs to be in place, but it's a lot more than that. It comes down to trust, transparency, building that early on with the client. Both sides have to win. There should not be a punitive level of the contract, even though we know that that exists. But it's really about partnering together to solve the problems. And that way you can really drive value for the client. And then that's the way you attract the best talent to that account and to that company. And that will be the fuel for success, both for the client and for Cushman.
So, David, what I've seen is that, especially post-pandemic, facility management has become elevated as a discipline in most large organizations. It's more C-suite facing. The office and the workplace has changed so much that the way you maintain and provide that office space and those office facilities is increasingly more strategic. How does that factor into your thinking about how we'll manage and build out Cushman's FM platform?
Right. I think it's taking away the narrow focus of what we've historically have referred to as facility management and broadening into things like workplace experience, sustainability, and that it is a driving force of the client's mission, right? And their strategy. It's no longer forgotten about behind the curtain, and it's now forefront. And as a company, we need to tie into that with our clients to align with them to drive their goals.
We talk about talent. There are not enough, especially in the United States, technical people coming into the trades. What are your thoughts on how do we attract and retain good operational talent?
It's a lot more than good postings and good pay rates. I think it's about a strategic focus to plan ahead, apprenticeship programs, working with local college and educational technical school institutions, working with military placement agencies to build the pipeline of talent, to attract those skilled trades to the company, because that's the lifeblood. Our ability to self-perform is critical, and we need to continue to attract that. But that's not a reactive thing. That is a proactive, strategic thing that we need to be doing every day. In today's world, facility management has never been more critical. We talked about how it has evolved over the past several years. It's going to continue to evolve, but it is a function that is at the forefront of executive leadership day in and day out, from sustainability to experience to keeping buildings running and driving value. And for that, I'm extremely excited to be on this journey with Cushman to help continue to manage through the complex time.